Can you believe that this 2x4 rib can look like cables on the reverse side and that it's done without having to twist any of your loops? Hey, it's Denise from loom.com, and I'm really happy to be able to show you how to loom knit the wavy rib stitch pattern. It's done only with Knits and Purls on a large gauge loom with a single strand of worsted weight yarn. Now, it's not reversible at all. As you can see, it looks like this on one side, and the reverse side is completely different. Another heads up is that this video is for the stitch pattern only. So there is no cast on or cast off because that depends on your project, and stitch patterns are not project, they're instructionals on how to create your fabric for your project. Another thing you need to know is that this needs a multiple of 6, which means you need 6 pegs to be able to accomplish the stitch pattern. So you need to count off 6 on your knitting loom. And I'm going to show you how to do this pattern flat if you want it in the round for, say, a hat. You'll find that and more information on the written pattern. To get the written pattern and these cute kitty stitch markers, you'll find them both in my store at loom.store, along with a whole bunch of other super cool stuff. Alright, for row 1, you're going to knit 2 and then purl 4. I'm going to be using the flat version of the knit stitch in this direction, and so I'm going to take my working yarn and put it over the existing loop and then knit off the bottom over the top. Again, I'm going to put the yarn over the existing loop and then knit off. You can also do a U-wrap knit stitch or a classic, also known as a true. Alright, then you're going to do those 3 purl stitches. So you're going to scoop up from the bottom and create this new loop. Take the existing loop off the peg, put the new loop on the peg, and pull your working yarn. So again, you're going to take your hook from the top with your working yarn under the existing loop and scoop up to create a new loop. Take the old loop off the peg and then put the new loop on and pull to tighten your stitch. So remember that you need 4 purl stitches for row 1, and personally for my swatch, I'm going to repeat those 6 stitches 4 more times. You repeat it as many times as necessary for your project. Once you finish that row and you're on the other end, you're ready for row 2, where you're going to purl 4 and then knit 2. So personally, going in this direction, I prefer to do the U-wrap, but let's start with those 4 purl stitches first. And this is one of the reasons why it's good to have an edge on your project. I'm going to start here with a purl stitch. It's always good to start your rows with a knit, so consider your edges when you're doing your project. So again, for the purl, it's under the existing loop, scoop up, create a new loop, take the old one off, put the new one on, and pull. And then for my U-wrap, I'm going to half wrap my peg and knit off, and that was row 2. And now we're ready for rows 3 through 6, and let me break it down for you. So you're going to repeat rows 1 and 2 more times. And the way this looks is that for 3, you're going to knit 2, purl 4. For row 4, you're going to purl 4, knit 2, and then you're going to do that again. So for 5, you're going to knit 2, purl 4, and for row 6, you're doing the purl 4, knit 2. You're then ready for row 7. So before we get into the second half of the project, I want to make you aware of the fact that your fabric is not going to look like this for a number of reasons. First of all, because the U-wrap is very crunched up, and until you stretch it, you're not going to be able to see that pattern in your fabric. You must stretch your stitches. So grab it from the top and pull down, and you'll start to see where the stitches take shape. So don't freak out because you're looking at your fabric and it looks totally different from mine. It's not going to look right until you stretch. Another thing that is really peculiar is that this stitch that you're looking at is actually on the reverse side. It's on the back, not on the front of the fabric, and it would take me forever to explain to you why. So just know that it's on the back. This is the front, and the side you're looking for is on the back. Now you're ready for row 7. So you're going to purl 3, knit 2, and then purl 1. You guys already know how to purl stitch, so you're doing 3 of them at the beginning of this row. And once you're done with those 3, you're going to do your knit stitches, and in my case I prefer to do the flat version of the knit stitch in this direction, so 2 knit stitches, and then end the row with 1 purl stitch. And so there's my purl, and then just repeat it as necessary for your project. And then you're ready for row 8, where you're going to do a purl 1, knit 2, purl 3. So we're knitting flat, and we're on the other end of the loom. We do that 1 purl stitch. I'm going to do 2 U-wrap knit stitches because I'm going in this direction, and then 3 purl stitches to end that row 8. You're going to repeat it as necessary for your project, and then you are ready for rows 9 through 12, where you're just going to repeat rows 7 and 8 2 more times. So just like before, I'm going to show you the breakdown of these last few rows. So you're going to do row 9, which is a purl 3, knit 2, purl 1, then 10, which is a purl 1, knit 2, purl 3, and then for 11 and 12 you're repeating 9 and 10. And row 12 is the last row that you are doing on this stitch pattern. All you're going to do at this point is repeat rows 1 through 12 as necessary for your project. And that's it, guys. I hope you like this project, well, this stitch pattern, as much as I do. Please like the video, comment, and if you share it, it helps me big time. And don't forget to stop by the store and check out the written pattern, which will help you do this much better, and those kitty stitch markers. Until next time, guys, come back and loom with me.